Hello and welcome to GEEKAMANIA After Hours. Today we're talking about the fine subject of Doctor Who. Doctor Who, you may ask. It's not funny anymore. Karl is on the panel. He was audience member last time. Ben has been resurrected from the dead. Michael Blake, who doesn't know anything about Doctor Who. Kier, who knows a lot about Doctor Who. And myself. I like to think I know quite a bit about Doctor Who.
But he doesn't.
Fuck you.
He doesn't
Michael's
know.
Revenge.
I got bored of this series! So I didn't watch it all. Screw your after hours stuff, this is daylight. I'm bored
The
of
most
one
recent
episode.
series.
Most recent series, yeah. So I watched the first 3 episodes and then got woefully bored and then stopped watching. I don't know if that's a mark against me or a mark against the series, but I'm blaming the series. It was a slow start, and the whole "oh, she's a new companion" thing got kind of annoying because they just kept on, making it like so. Oh, she doesn't know who the Doctor is, and that got old quick for me.
Yeah. I didn't like this. Last episode was really good. Hyde was really good. I really liked Cold War with the
Yeah, with the they brought
So
back the ice
that's the
warrior.
first episode I didn't watch.
Yeah. But that was really
you
good.
missed out. Bring the ice warriors back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all they have to say, apparently.
Yeah. Well, we were going to talk about the last episode of the series, obviously.
Spoil it for me. I
The
don't
name
know.
of the Doctor.
The name of the
Brian.
Brian's his name.
It is. Sorry for spoiling it. I mean, we did say we could. Brian Jenkins, I think, something like that.
I thought it was
Brian Jackson.
Jackson. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Quite a disappointing ending, actually. Yeah, it's a shame.
Unfortunate initials.
CJ. Yeah. I didn't realise that. That's part of the joke. Yeah.
Wait, that's part of the joke that his Doctor Who actually made a blowjob joke.
Yeah, he's,
That's totally what happened.
that's why all his companions are female.
So that's why.
But, yes.
It's kind of make a horrible joke. He likes the way their teeth drag.
Oh.
We don't have to edit that out, do we?
Well, now we've earned that after hours tag we were talking about.
And you had to go at me for swearing earlier.
Yeah. Well, this is after hours. I
Oh,
saw
right.
it Mike in there.
Okay.
He's not. Yeah.
But yeah, the series.
Yeah, Series 7 was bad.
It was, but it ended
Very well.
It set
So the
up
first half with Amy and Rory was really,
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was alright. I liked that. And then it was.
I like the Christmas special. I like the fact that the Christmas special was in the middle of the series. It doesn't often happen, but it did happen.
Who's your favourite Doctor?
We're not on that yet.
We don't know who they are.
I thought what let Series 7 down was that they went for the whole movie formula of the week kind of thing, making each episode a standalone blockbuster.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that cut down on timing. Some plots were rushed. I just don't think it worked very well.
I think Doctor Who would do a lot better if it was given an hour rather than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then you could build up a bit more, you could resolve it a bit more. You could have a bit more in the middle, I think, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
It
endings
does
do
work.
tend to seem rushed.
Yeah.
in most Doctor Who
Oh,
episodes.
what's this? Oh.
And I think dropping 2-parters wasn't really a good idea for this series.
No.
But that's only because they then some of the episodes could have done with being 2-parters. So if you're going to drop 2-parters, don't write them so long that they need them.
Angels Take Manhattan, I think, was one example that needs to be
Yeah.
too fast. I think that felt a bit.
And
was
the,
good,
power,
but-
the power of 3, definitely.
I like that as it was.
I enjoyed it, but you can't deny it was rather quickly resolved at the end after all
Yeah.
the build-up. And we would have got to see more
It
units.
has seemed like since Stephen Moffat's taken over, that does happen that comes quite a lot now. I feel like a lot of plots have been rushed, which is sad because when he was writing when Ross Davis was still the producer, he was doing fantastic right, The Empty Child and
I think that was
things like that.
probably because he didn't have the pressure of being head writer.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
works.
Contribute a couple a year, and that's cool.
He works a lot better as a writer as opposed to an overall planner of what should happen for a series. That's his weakness really, because he is very very good at doing long planned storylines, but still in short format.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at is it, The Impossible Astronaut on Day of the
Yes,
Moon, the one with the
exactly.
silence.
Yeah.
Now the first one was absolutely
Yeah.
and the second one was.
Yes.
But you didn't get a resolution to what
'Cause
the silence were.
'cause it was so arc
if you
heavy.
if you go towards the end of the series, it was like the silence are not this and that. And it's like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
But
it's like-
Yeah.
it was a case of Okay, so but the last episode, he's a big fan. If you look at the end of series 5, got Pandora opens Big Bang.
Yeah.
Big Bang is set in an alternate universe, you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
I see
he
where you're going
resets
with this.
everything. End of series 6, Riversong doesn't kill the Doctor. Alternate universe resets everything. End of series 7, the Great Intelligence goes back and kills them all the time.
Yeah.
Clara Oswald jumps in, resets everything. Like,
So all we know is everything that has happened hasn't happened.
yes, pretty much.
Basically, it's the same problem that DC Comics has. As you can tell, I know a little bit. But they constantly counter the side in the storyline, and they love making these big, world-ending things. And it's like, yes, it's great, everything is getting destroyed. But then it's just like, oh wait, this needs to carry on.
Yeah.
Alternate universe, let's just reset everything. Time travel, let's just reset everything. It
Yeah.
resets crap, and it makes you. It tricks the audience out of feeling like, because that whole journey they've been on
Yeah.
now no longer exists.
Well, yes,
No, no,
it does
void.
do that, but serial television is a very recent thing in television.
Mm.
You're talking from, what, the late 90s that it really happened. Doctor Who has to go back to where it started, has to be accessible to new viewers, so they kind of have to do that. If you look at something like Lost, right, you jump in that in the middle of series 3, and you've not seen that episode, you don't know what's going on. There's constantly referring backwards, forwards, you know, this way, that way, and you can't make head or tail of it. Whereas if Doctor Who, you could jump into pretty much any episode. Aside from the 2 parters, they still have a preview. Yeah, that's only one episode they have to rehash. Well, I Lost where they have to rehash like a whole series worth of stuff. So Doctor Who, they do have to reset. I can see why. I just wish it wasn't done all the time.
Yeah.
You can continue the story, but you can just make nods here and
Well,
there.
That's one thing that's coming up with the 50th, though. It's been said because, like, the name of the Doctor, Tim obviously said there's a big change coming to Doctor Who. It's obviously not going to mention any real spoilers yet, but John Hurt being in it as his character, that's a big change he's put in, and it's going to
Yeah.
continue for the 50th. So it is a change that will hopefully stay unless he resets it.
Yeah.
Have you
well.
heard the rumours as to who John Hurt's Doctor is?
I've deliberately avoided them because I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
Nor did I accidentally came across it whilst I was watching the advert for the new 50th anniversary. I don't know, this has been put out, it's been apparently leaked, I don't know if it's been put out to throw people off,
Yeah.
or it's generally been leaked, but apparently he is a doctor in between Paul McGann and Chris Eccleston.
That was probably the most popular theory for that one.
He was in the time one, the doctor
Yeah.
forgot that regeneration.
We didn't
because he
forget
couldn't-
it.
It did something so
he
bad.
just didn't want to remember it
Mm.
because he killed all the Daleks all the time, all the moment, you know.
Yeah.
So it would make sense if that was him.
I think
But
that's...
then that does bump up all the doctors, and the next generation
It'd be the
is
last. This would be the last generation after that.
Yeah, I think that's the best theory out of the 3 I ever come across was he was pre-Hartnell, which I didn't like. Didn't
Which
think
wouldn't work.
No.
They did try that though. Like in the old Doctor's one, they did try to say that William Hartnell wasn't the
Yeah.
first one.
I'm not sure if
Um,
caught on.
no,
I think
it
I
was-
watched episode you're on
It was
about.
it was a bit of like something. It wasn't explicit. It was more implicit. So
Yeah.
you can sort of say, oh no, that wasn't what you thought it meant. You know,
Yeah.
you can sort of debunk that. But
Yeah.
it did happen in the series because they wanted loads of like famous actors at the time to like appear. It was like, oh, these are his pretty like I don't know. Like say if you were doing it now, you'd have like Hugh Grant and I don't know Brad Pitt as the previous one.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But at the time, they couldn't get anyone, so they just used like people around the department. So they were like, "Oh, this is a bit rubbish."
Yeah.
You can't really do that.
Yeah.
I also prefer it to John Hurt being a future Doctor as well, because I like the idea that he's a forgotten middle kind of Doctor.
I think that would make more sense because, of course, you can't place him between any of the other ones. We know what happened between them.
Yeah.
But
It's always been a bit
if he's a
iffy what
future
happened.
one, how does Matt Smith remember him? That means he's already been on an
Yeah,
adventure.
that's
with him.
why it doesn't work as well. It just
Yeah.
falls down.
Well,
But
he was in his own time stream, which was meant to be at the end of his life. So that's all his generation. That's
But-
the time stream. So going
Yeah,
in
so he could know.
by leaping into his own time stream, he could know vaguely
He could know
of
everything
what,
that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and coming out with kind of giving a bit of a Swiss cheese memory erase.
I like the idea of John Hurt being between 8 and 9 now as well, because it means Paul McGann might come back.
We might see
Yeah.
a regeneration, you know.
That's
and
right.
everything I've talked to Ben about this numerous times. I want Christopher Eccleston back. I don't care how
Yeah.
they bring him back.
Well, he's my favourite Doctor.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
well,
would love Chris.
I did see someone did an interview with him that he just after he'd come out and finishing filming for the new Thor film, and they said, "Are you going to be in the new 50th anniversary?" And up to now, he's just gone, "I'm not going to do it." But this time, he
He
avoided
hinted.
the question.
Yeah.
Um,
They did release a press release.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat saying he's not going to be in it. But then I've seen so many interviews, like people saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
can I get your word on this?" And he says, "Don't believe everything you read."
Yeah.
And he's also said, the only stuff I've ever commented on is stuff that's been filmed outside. We don't know what's been filmed in this. All they need is I want Chris
that is it, because I mean, with the 50th anniversary, when they announced David Tennant, Billy Piper, the woman from Gavin and Stacey as well, they announced it a day or two before they would be filming on location. So they would get spotted anyway, they might as well reveal it. But they haven't revealed anyone behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The only one that really was spotted, probably by accident, was John Hurt, but then he wasn't known who he was back then.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
They just thought he's like a...
So there could be loads of
Could have
things
been a new
that's not...
villain.
I reckon there's still a chance for so many surprising stuff to happen. Probably still past Doctors that we wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean,
to pop up.
they're all saying they did tell every single person who was in it, like that's ever been in it, keep those days free.
Yeah.
The girl that played his granddaughter,
Carol Ann Ford.
Yeah, she's supposed to be in it. Because
That'd be good.
Well, Bernard Crimmins was told to keep the days free, but you don't know if he did it or not.
I think if the Brigadier had still been alive, he would definitely have been in it.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
You heard what villains are in it?
I know the Zygons are in it for
I
like.
heard they've come back in the 50th.
Yeah,
I think from what film it looked like, it's going to be like the introductory bit for David Tennant's Doctor. Like, what's he doing right now? Oh, he's fighting a Zygon, and then the main story
and
kicks
that'll
in.
be that, right?
I think that's how it will be, but it will still be pretty good to see
It's
it.
that kind of cameo sort of thing.
Yeah. So there's one, and then it moves on. Yeah. Apparently, they're all going to be in it. Like all the big enemies are going to be in it, which would mean, well, I've heard a rumor that Omega's going to be in it.
Really? That room's been bouncing around for a long time. That would be interesting.
They wouldn't have to cast for it either, because in the past he's used the Doctor himself.
And had no face.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Do we know if the Master's involved?
Apparently, Johnson hasn't said anything.
But Stephen Moffat has said he views John Sims the
As
Master.
the
So
Master,
I think if they were going to change it, he would appear once more, at least for the handover. Or
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think of Matt Smith leaving?
I thought it kind of, because at one point he said he was going to do the X series,
Yeah.
and then he just kind of went, oh no, I am leaving the Christmas one.
Christmas one is technically the first of the 8 series.
Technically, yeah.
What I was disappointed was that it was announced. I really want a surprise regeneration, a surprise leave. I was kind of sad it got announced more than sad he was leaving.
The end of series 4, when David Tennant gets shot and he goes to regenerate, and that's how it ends. I was like, everyone was like, what?
And
we haven't heard anything about this.
And Christopher Eccleston's departure was initially meant to be kept secret, and the BBC released it.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of blundered that one.
Well,
that was meant to be a surprise.
People were expecting him to be in the next series, like the start of the next series, regenerate, but they weren't expecting it to be at the end of the series. So that was a bit of a surprise thing.
I did think, like you said, they do need to have like a surprise one, because as much as you watch the series, you're like, oh, the Doctor's in a mess, how did he get out of this one? Back in mind, still know he's going to survive, he's in the next episode. Because they've already said he's going on to next year.
That's why the Impossible Astronaut was also quite shocking. Like the first 10 minutes he started regenerating, it was like, oh, this was a surprise.
Something else with a bit of a cop-out ending as well.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Doctor Who's quite similar to Superman in that way, because it's not about Doctor Who, the Doctor, going out and being in threat. It's about him saving other people and everyone else around him being in threat. That's where the tension comes from.
Yeah, you're excited. How is he going to do it?
Exactly.
The problem is when he does it with no clues to the audience working it out. So he goes, oh, I just made this, and it's like nothing that's been referred to.
Yeah,
before.
there are way too many Deus Ex Machinas in Doctor Who.
Russell T Davies was quite good at doing those.
Yeah.
I mean, Stephen Moffat's resolutions might be rushed, but they do have explanations.
They have
behind
reasons.
them.
Yeah, it's not just sonic screwdriver.
Magic button that destroys all the Daleks and the spaceships, and
It's
crap.
just lazy
But
writing.
that's why I liked Jones to the centre of the TARDIS. It was like magic buttons. I was like, yeah, there we are.
But that was it. That was good for the story. It was kind of built up.
Yeah.
That had to happen, otherwise they were screwed.
And I liked it because that episode was referenced in the finale as well. It's like, how you shouldn't remember that, but we do remember that.
That was an episode I was really looking forward to when it was announced.
Yeah. I think it's sad that Matt Smith is ending on a relatively low note, being Series 7.
Yeah.
I think Series 5, his first series, was one of the best series of television I've seen.
I really like Series
It's one
5.
I keep rewatching, actually.
Yeah, same.
It's the series I most commonly come back to.
Even the standalone episodes, which I'm never a big fan of, are actually superb. Vampires of Venice,
Yes.
Amy's Choice, with Toby Jones as the Dream Lord.
That was
when are you going to
brilliant.
see him again? He was fantastic. Yeah, it's probably because Toby Jones suddenly become a massive actor. It's a shame because I'd love to have him back. yeah, I cannot fault the series.
Yeah, but to be honest, I quite like the change. I mean, as I said, I wasn't too happy with this series anyway. So, and I've always liked keeping things fresh, and I feel like Max, he's had a good run. I really like
In
it.
the vein of him regenerating, apparently, I've told you this, apparently they're thinking of doing a woman doctor next.
Yes, and I would be super hyped for that. I really like the idea of doing a gal.
The bookie's choice at the moment is Sue Perkins.
Yes, and I really like that idea of Sue Perkins.
I would quite like to see how she'd do it, but for that, I think the thing for it to be, they would have to have that is the 12th Doctor the woman, because they can't have the 13th Doctor being the woman because of the 6th Doctor's trial of the Time Lords. Because his prosecutor was himself his last regeneration, and a meld of his first regeneration.
No, it was something between the 12th and 13th.
Yeah. And it came back to
Valiant.
to
They
still.
mentioned that in the last one.
They did.
Yeah, that everyone got kind of a nerd gab like that, but
Yeah.
because he wants to take his past selves generation really to live on.
Right. Okay.
So if they don't,
And don't come back.
no. But yeah, I mean, I hope that because when John Hurt was announced, I was talking to my dad about it. I said, what if they had John Hurt as the thing between the 12th and 13th that melds and becomes the Vanguard? Valiant.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Because that is something that has been done not in the name of the Doctor, because that's basically master territory. Trying to steal life from others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think we're drawing to a fairly natural close here.
We
So-
were. What were we? Someone wants to say something about what we all have to say our favourite Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Top Doctors, top episodes, something like that.
Favourite Doctor.
No,
Should we
yours.
just quickly do? Yeah, well, mine's Eccleston. I really liked him. He should have stayed around for a little bit longer, but he was fantastic.
Come back to me on that one.
Yeah.
My favourite is Colin Baker. I've always really liked him. I thought it was quite sad that he was forced out to Doctor. He never got to choose to go because the head of the BBC just went, I want you to either change it up or I ask Doctor Who. So he didn't even come and do his regeneration scene. That's what Sesame come on the wig because he was really upset that they just kicked him out.
A few episodes I've seen of him I really did like. It's a shame cut short.
Well, from what I've heard, he was fantastic Doctor. Eventually, he got crap.
The
Poor
writing.
writing. Yeah.
The trial of the Time Lords was fantastic. I'm halfway through that now. You can't pull that one.
I'll go for a Matt's list.
Best Doctor. Wow.
Yeah, but again, he's declined on the series.
Yeah, true.
5 was brilliant. Start 6 was brilliant, but then it sort of went off.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a big soft spot for John Pertwee and Peter Davison as well. I really like both of them. Favourite one? I think for consistency, oh god, that's tough.
You're really struggling with this. This is quite fun
I've
to watch.
always found it difficult to pick my favourite.
Yeah.
This is the image of a tortured man.
I'd have to go.
Trapped in purgatory.
I feel like I am.
Like
Only
the
Doctor
Valiant.
spinning
And
through
you leave
life.
it there.
Spinning.
John Pertwee. I'll go John Pertwee.
John Pertwee.
Speaking of which, Spearhead from Space was released yesterday on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And it's coming through the post to me. In my hands.
On that note,
Apparently they've actually for the 50th.
apparently not.
They've got, I think it might be that, or they've got a John Pertwee adventure they've just found, and they're going to air it as part of the 50th and the day of the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. We're going to have like a classic episode and then the new one.
Very good.
I'm
Okay.
looking forward to that.
Episode's gone long enough.
You want to end it?
Ended a while ago.
It
You
did.
can cut all this.
That is Karl.
Oh,
Richard.
yeah.
That's Richard.
Here.
That's Ben.
That's GEEKMANIA.
Whoa!
Outside After Hours edition. Goodbye.